Dear student, I welcome you again as we continue with the social studies that is in standard 6. We are continuing in this subject, and now we are on unit number 4. But before we proceed, let me just remind you of the units that are there and outline of all the units that you are supposed to cover in this class that is in standard 6. So the first one, location of Malawi, we did this. Major physical features of Malawi, we did this. And again, population of Malawi, we also did this. And also today will be on number 4, unit 4, that is population density of Malawi. Unit 5 will look at population change in Malawi. Then local government, area African kingdoms, we'll look at the Ngoni. Area African kingdoms, we'll look at the Mwenemtapa. HIV and AIDS, we'll also look at weather of Malawi, climate of Malawi, seasons of Malawi, environment, forestry, farming and fishing in Malawi, soil erosion, drug and substance abuse, citizenship, children's rights, social services in Malawi, road safety, mining and manufacturing. Number 23, tourism in Malawi. Then number 24, transport and communication in Malawi. So these are the units that you are supposed to focus on, to look on before you go to the next class. So they are the units that you are supposed to look at. So as I said, today we are on unit number 4. So on unit number 4, we are going to look at the population density of Malawi. Remember, last time we just started, we introduced this unit of the topic of population. So we defined what population is, and we tried to look at a sketch of population distribution or how it is in Malawi. So today we are looking at the population density of Malawi. So be there, let us be together up to the end and see what we are going to learn about the population density. So population density is the number of people per unit area. Population density is the number of people per unit area. So we start by looking at what population density is. So we are saying that population density is the number of people per unit area. The number of people per unit area. For example, the people in a village. So we calculate how big is that village, and we see and generalize or maybe apply the results to wherever. So that is the population density, to find how many people are living per maybe square kilometer, just like that. So that's what we mean. Or again, we can define population density as the number of people living per square kilometer. So we can also define it as the number of people living per square kilometer. So right, we see how many people are living per square kilometer. So that is the population density. Now, let us look at the areas of high and low population density in Malawi. So we have looked at the definition of population density, how many people are living per square kilometer. Now, let us look now at the places, which are the places that have got high population and which places have got low population in Malawi. A place in which many people occupy a small area has a dense population. So take note of this to say a place in which many people occupy a small area has a dense population. So when we talk of dense population, it means it's a small area, but in that small area, we find many people are living there. So we say that this place is densely populated. So we use the language or the term to say dense population. It means the area is small, but people who are there are many. A place where a few people occupy a large area has a sparse population. A place where a few people occupy a large area has a sparse population. So we have talked of the dense population as a place where a small area has got many people. But a big area with few people, that one is called a sparse population. Sparse population. So the areas of high population density in Malawi are Blantyre, Tyolo, Mulanje, Chiladzulu, Palombe, Zomba, and Mangochi in the southern region. So we are saying in the southern region, the places that are highly dense, populated are Blantyre, Tyolo, Mulanje, Chiladzulu, Palombe, Zomba, and Mangochi. So those are the places where you have many people living in a small area. So places of Blantyre, Tyolo, Mulanje, Palombe, all those areas, they are densely, we can say they are densely populated. There are a lot of people in a square kilometer. And we also have Lilongwe, Dowa, Kasungu, Mchinji, Deza, and Salima in the central region. So in the central region, we have these areas like Dowa, Kasungu, Lilongwe, Mchinji, Deza, and Salima. Those areas in the central region of Malawi, they are also densely populated. Areas of low population density are most of the districts in the northern region. So when we talk of the northern region of Malawi, the areas are sparsely populated. So that's why we have used the term low population density. It means they are not densely, but they have low density, which means you can find a wide area, few people there. So in most of the places in the northern region, that's where we have the places of low population density. Now, let us look at the population distribution. Population distribution. Now, by definition, population distribution refers to how people are spread over an area or a country. Population distribution refers, or it means how people are spread over an area or a country. So here, what it means, therefore, is that we now look how people live in that area, how people live, which side of that area it has got more people than the other side. So that is population distribution, how the people live in a particular area. So there are two aspects of population distribution. What are these? So as we have already pointed out, the two aspects of population distribution, they are number one, densely or sparsely populated area. So when we talk of population distribution, we talk of the densely populated, that is highly populated, or the low populated. So we talk of densely and sparsely. Sparsely means people are scattered. They are not living packed together, but they are scattered in different areas. So that is a sparse population distribution. Now, let us look at the factors that influence the densely population in the southern region of Malawi. What are the factors that has contributed to the southern region to have high population? So we are going to look at some of the factors. What are the issues behind the high population in the southern region of Malawi? Number one is tea estates in Mulanje and Tyolo, which attract many people who seek employment. So we are saying in Mulanje and Tyolo, there are tea estates. An estate it's a big farm, very big farm. So you know, in a farm you need people to work in those farms. So in Mwanja and Cholo, we see that there are tea estates there. So because of that, many people go there to look for employment. As a result, they grow their families there. Also, fertile loam soils used for growing crops such as maize, beans, bananas, and potatoes. So we also see, because of the fertile soils, they are the fertile loam soils there. So they are using that to grow crops there. And also reliable rainfall. So in the southern region of Malawi, there is also that reliable rainfall. So because of that, people go there. They are able to farm and harvest. Therefore, they find no reason of moving from one place to the other. Therefore, they are settled. More people are settled there for farming because of reliable rainfall. Trade and commerce and manufacturing industry found in Blantyre. So the other factor that contributes to the high population of southern region is that the city of Blantyre, in the city of Blantyre there is trade that is taking place there, manufacturing. We see that there are industries there in Blantyre, many industries. As a result, people go there, they flock there to find employment in the factories, in the industries there. As a result, they grow the families there. Hence, a lot of people are in the southern region of Malawi. More towns and townships. So again, in the southern region of Malawi, there are more towns and townships. So you know, many people are found in the towns, in the trading centers. So people, they go there for different purposes, to do some businesses and the like. So if we study how Malawi is, you will find that in the southern region of Malawi, there are so many townships, there are so many towns there. As a result, those towns, they attract people. They attract many people to go there and start different businesses there. Also, educational facilities. So the other issue that has also contributed to population growth is the educational facilities. So in the southern region, there are also many educational facilities there. As a result, people would like to get employment, some to get education. As a result, the population grows. We talk of educational facilities like the Chancellor College, the Domasi College, the Malawi Institute of Education. There are so many educational institutions or facilities in the southern region there. As a result, people go there for education, some for employment. As a result, we see there is high population. Also fishing and water supply along the lake. So we also see that because of fishing like mangochi, we see that there is a lot of fishing that is taking place there. Hence, we see that so many people settled there and they are growing their populations there. Some people, they even migrate from other areas to go for fishing in Mangochi. With that, we see that people or the population there is higher than other regions. And also sugar industry in Nchalo. Again, we see that in Chikwawa, the place there is also densely populated. Why? Because of the sugar industry. So there is the sugar estate there. So people go there for work to find employment there. As a result, some have settled there permanently, and we see that there is high population in the southern region. What about the central region? What about the central region? What are the factors that influence dense population in the central region of Malawi? The central region, we have said that it has also high population. What are the factors that has contributed to high population in the central region? Number one, we see the capital city, which has all government ministries and departments, as well as some industries, trade and commerce. So the capital city, what is the capital city of Malawi? Lilongwe. So because Lilongwe is in the central region, there in the capital city, that's where most of the government headquarters are, and the trade and industries are taking place there. Because of that, many people are flocking to the capital city to find employment, to start businesses, for education and many other things. Then that's why we see that because the capital city is in the central region, hence people flock there, and the central region has got high population. Also, fertile loam soils favorable for growth of tobacco, maize, groundnuts, potatoes, and beans. We see that the central region again, it is a plain. Remember, we talked of the plains, the flat areas, Kasungu, Mchinji, Lilongwe. We talked about that, how, or on the physical features, remember that. Now, those areas, they are favorable for the growing of tobacco, groundnuts, maize, hence people, they have high yields there to support the growing population. Hence, the population again is growing there because they have food, they have the fertile soils to support them. And also many tobacco estates in the central region. We have so many tobacco estates. So because of that, we see there is high population growth. And fishing and water supply along the lake. So we also see that the areas like Salima, Kota, people are embarking on fishing there. As a result, all those areas, there are a lot of people there because of fishing that is taking place there. Now, let us look at the factors that influence sparse population in other regions of Malawi or in some parts of Malawi. Why are there low population or distribution in some areas or some regions in Malawi? Number one is mountainous areas like Mulanje, Zomba, the Kik Range, Zaranyama Range, Vipya, and the Nyika Plateaus. So in these areas, you see to it that no one can live on top of the mountain. People cannot live there. Where are they going to find water? Sometimes there is no water there. Where are they going to farm? Sometimes it's not advisable to be cultivating along the hillsides because it encourages soil erosion. So people cannot stay there. So the range, a chain of mountains, the Zomba mountain, so the Vipya plateau, or Nyika plateau, so all those areas people cannot live there. Because of that, there is no one who is living there. If there are people, very few, one village can be found here, another, you move 5-10 kilometers to find another village. So that is sparsely populated. So we see one factor that is contributing to the sparse population is mountainous areas. Number two is the national parks, game reserves, protected areas, which include Nyika, Nkota, Liwonde, Lengwe, and Majete national parks. So the protected areas, there are some areas that are government protected areas. The government doesn't allow people to live there. As a result, no one is allowed to live there. So because of that, there is a sparse population, or there is no one who is living there. As a result, you see that there is a wide area, but no one is living there because it is a government protected area. Another one is areas with poor soils and no or few industries. So there are also other areas that have got poor soils, infertile soils, and no industries. So because of that, that area cannot attract many people to settle there. We talk of the northern region. there are very few industries in Mzuzu. As a result, you find that the population of the northern region is lower than that of Lilongwe and Blantyre, or central region or southern region. So because of few industries, or sometimes maybe because there is poor soils. Now, let us look at the effects of high and low population density in Malawi. Effects of high and low population density in Malawi. What are the effects? What are the problems that are caused by high population or low population? So we are going to look at some of these issues. Number one, shortage of land for cultivation. When an area has got so many people, they scramble for a land to cultivate. Also, depletion of natural resources such as forest, trees, fish, and wildlife. So we see that when the area has got too many people, they scramble for the forest to get firewood or charcoal, for fish, for wildlife. So because of that, then the natural resources they go down, so they deplete. To deplete is to finish or to remove all those things. So they reduce the number of the natural resources that are there rapidly, because they scramble for that. Also, severe soil erosion because of overcultivation and deforestation. There is severe soil erosion. Why? When the population is dense or is high in a certain area, it means when you have a land where you farm, it means year in, year out, each and every year you'll be cultivating there. So because of overcultivation, there is soil erosion and deforestation. People they embark on even opening new areas of cultivation. Therefore they destroy the trees. Shortage of social services such as schools, clinics, and hospitals. So it leads again to shortage of those social services. Few schools, clinics, and hospitals because there is high population. Overcrowding in schools. Because of high population, you find that learners in school, they overcrowd. In standard 1, 150 students. In standard 2, 250 students. So in that way, that is overcrowding. You cannot be 200 students in one class with one teacher. Therefore, things cannot work okay. So overcrowding in schools. Another problem is shortage of drugs. When you go to the hospital, there is no drugs there. So shortage of drugs. Also, overcrowding in towns resulting into over population. So we see to it that there is overcrowding in towns. Many people living in town there. And poverty, crime, and prostitution in overcrowded areas and squatter areas. So we see that because of that overcrowding, and again we see that the other problem that may connect to that is poverty, because there are so many people crowded in one place, scrambling for few resources. Then there is crime, thieves are there, others become prostitutes in those areas. Another problem is establishment of squatter or illegal settlements in urban areas. Another problem of population or population growth is this one. Now again, to say, you'll find that there is illegal settlement. People just decide to say, I'm going to build my house here, but the government is planning to build a hospital there. As a result, it's a problem. Also, areas with low population density may not experience the above effects on a large scale. So we see that areas that have got low population density, they may not have overcrowding or whatever, but may have also the effects, may feel also the effects sometimes if they don't take care of the resources that are there. Now, to this far, we have come to the end of this unit 4, where we are looking at the population density. We have looked at a number of issues, the population distribution, the dense population, and the sparse population. We have looked at the areas with high population in Malawi and some areas with low population, and factors that influence high population in some areas like the southern and the central region, and other regions where they have low population. What are the factors? We have looked at that. And also we have looked at the effects. What are the effects of high population in or high population density in Malawi? What are the problems that we experience because of high population? I guess you have taken something from there. But here with me is an exercise for you. So in this exercise, you need to read thoroughly and understand the questions, and you need to answer these questions before you go to the next unit. So the first question says population density. Define population density. Number 2, mention 3 districts in the southern and central regions that are densely populated. Number 3, what are the 2 aspects of population distribution? Number 4, give any 3 factors that influence high population in the southern region of Malawi. Then number 5, give any 2 factors that influence sparse population distribution in some areas in Malawi. Number 6, the last one, give any 4 effects of high population in Malawi. So these are the questions that have been taken from the part that we have done. So make sure you do this before you go to the next unit. So in the next unit, we are going to look at the population change in Malawi. We are going to look at the population change in Malawi. So be there next time as we will be continuing with this unit 5, which is still looking at the topic of population. So until next time, thank you so much.